I would like to welcome you all again to the event titled SMEs Contribution in Economic Development. To start with our event today, may I please invite High Excellency Mr. C.B. George, Ambassador of India to Japan, to make the opening remarks. 駐日インド大使のシビジョージ閣下に開会のご挨拶をいただきます。
Good afternoon, everybody. Srimati Mercy Ipao, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India. Professor Michio Hashimoto, University of Tokyo. Mr. Akira Yoshida, Yamanashi Hydrogen Company. Mr. Hiroki Sato, Head of SAID's Pseudo Technical Service. Sri H.R. Jairam, Chairman of BCIC, MSME Expert Committee. Sri A.V. Srinivasan, Chairperson, Japan Initiatives Expert Committee. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you all. I welcome you all to today's seminar on the SMEs titled SMEs Contribution in Economic Development. You will all agree with me that when I say SMEs are a crucial pillar of economic prosperity. For any large business house or an economy to run its full capacity, it is imminent that SMEs are in their best elements. SMEs are often overshadowed by their larger counterparts that remain the lifeline of our economies, driving growth, innovation, and resilience. In fact, we can say proudly that SMEs are the backbone of employment and employment creation of a large workforce. They create significant portion of jobs globally, offering opportunities to a diverse range of individuals. By providing employment, SMEs help alleviate poverty, reduce inequality, and contribute to overall economic stability. They offer flexible work environments and often support local communities through various initiatives. And this all that I said is absolutely true when it comes to SMEs in Japan and in India. In my last almost 18 months in Japan, I had the great pleasure of traveling all across this beautiful country to all the 47 prefectures. And wherever I went, I met the chambers and tried to organize business seminars with many of with JETRO and many of the companies. What I have come across is the presence of large number of SMEs. In India, at present, there are 1,500 Japanese companies. That is not good enough. We need to have a quantum leap. India is the fifth largest economy in the world, going to be the fourth largest economy. Japan is the third largest economy in the world. And if we work together, we can do wonders. And 1,500 is not the number we should be having when we talk about the fifth largest economy in the world. My target is to make it from 1,500 to 15,000. We need is a quantum leap. Similar leap we need in terms of the number of Japanese SMEs in India. So we are looking at reaching out to something to the tune of 100,000 SMEs this year to tell them the India story. And the India-Japan growth story is a good story. In the last few years, we have seen how our relationship has transformed. When India grows, Japan is a partner in that growth, and we would like to tell that Japan-India growth story to all across Japan. This is our endeavor, and I'm very happy that this seminar, we have good participation despite the typhoon alert, which is making chaos around many parts of Japan. I believe we had a business seminar today with Mie prefecture, which we had to convert into online seminar. So we are, whether it is snow or sun, rain or shine, we will continue our effort to reach out to every corner of Japan to make sure that we will be able to continue the momentum in this India-Japan story. So I congratulate the team which has put together this meeting today. I'm very happy to see a large number of speakers present today. As far as the embassy is concerned, we have an SME cell, the small and medium scale facilitation cell, and we are receiving large number of queries from the SMEs which are looking at India. It is not just SMEs. Big companies are also going to go to India in large numbers. We are seeing delegation after delegation led by various leadership. For example, the Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives of Japan was in India last month, leading a business delegation. Many of our governors are going to India, leading business delegation. So there is a momentum for India-Japan relationship, and I am sure that that momentum would get reflected in the SME sector as well. Once again, I thank the speakers who have joined us. I thank those who have joined us to participate in this seminar. We look forward to similar seminars in coming months. Thank you very much.
ありがとうございます。May we first invite Mrs. Mercy Ebano, Joint Secretary, MSME Government of India, for virtual presentation. まずは、インド政府 MSME マーシー・エパオ様、ジョインセクレタリーよりバーチャル講演をいただきます。
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for organizing this beautiful platform where we can talk and meet and then grow our MSMEs together. Excellency, Mr. C.P. George, thank you so much for arranging this meeting. And I see that there is a good number of experts and speakers for today's meeting. And I hope that this will not be just the beginning, but also will continue to handhold both the MSMEs together. I would like to give a little presentation. Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. So I'll be sharing from here. So, Government of India, Ministry of MSME handholds our micro, small and medium enterprises. We have 3 categories. And as I go on sharing my presentation, I hope this will help our Japanese MSMEs who are looking for partnership and also enable us how best we can facilitate our partnership together. So Ministry of MSME, Government of India facilitates promotion and development of micro, small and medium enterprises. And we have an MSMED Act 2006. We are now about to revise and then bring in more components. And what is an enterprise? It is already mentioned in this. And an this MSME Act also provides the first ever legal framework for recognition of the concept of enterprises. And so this we are going to widen further. The definition of MSMEs in India and Japan could be different. And you will see that in India, we don't have separate turnovers for services and manufacturing. Both are actually clubbed together. And you will also see that we do not include the numbers of employment. Though when we look at India, we know that MSME is number 2 as far as employment generation is concerned. The first being agriculture. So if you look at the classification, the micro segment would be investment of plants and machinery of rupees 1 crore and turnover not exceeding rupees 5 crore. And the small will be investment not exceeding 10 crore and turnover not exceeding 50 crore. And the medium size would be investment not exceeding 50 crore and turnover not exceeding 250 crore. All these are in INR. And if you look at the MSME contribution, you will find that around 29% of all the GDPs come from the MSMEs, and contribution of manufacturing output at 36%, and also export, it is more than 40%. And so we play a very crucial part in the economic development of the country. Today, we are at 21.3 crores numbers of employment that MSME generates. And Government of India realizing that there are a lot of micro and nano MSMEs which are not under the formal ambit. So we started this Udiam registration portal. We started in 2020. And as of today, we are at 49 million, 4.93 crores. And we also enable those micro entrepreneurs who are too small to be onboarded because they have not yet got their PAN card or their GSTN number as yet. We try to onboard them and then give them the privilege of accessing the PLI. And so we call them Udiam as portal, and we have started this one. So if you look at the numbers, this is what Indian MSME does for the country's economy. Yeah. And I just want to share this slide with you, the growth and resilience story of Indian MSMEs. So as Ambassador has already said, India is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. And in 2014, India was 10th. And now today we are at the 5th largest global economy. So this is the resilience stories. We have a dip during the COVID time, but then we have now risen to 7.3. And if you look at the international perspective, the growth chart is like this. So India is 5.5, China 6.2. And here we can also see Japan. And this is how we are growing at our GDP growth rate. We also have our vision, and we know that there are a lot more than 49 million MSMEs as on today. And so we are reaching out to the 3rd, 4th town tiers and cities, onboarding them under the formal ambit so that they can access not only the PLIs, but the various hand-holding supports that the Government of India gives to them. And we are also enabling them not only to become formal MSMEs, but become enterprise builders. And so we have set our visions, and some of the vision statements which I would like to share here is sustainable growth development, and also make our MSMEs globally competitive, and realizing that the MSMEs are the engine for the growth of the Indian economy. There are several initiatives and schemes that we have undertaken in the recent past. So Ministry of MSME is engaged in promotion and development, and we help in enterprise development, and also we're giving a lot of focus on employment generation. We also help in credit assistance, and not only in credit, but also in finance as well. And we also help the enterprise upgrade their technology, and we also build infrastructure and build up their capacity. And we also help them link the MSMEs with the market. And so we have several schemes of procurement and also marketing supports. And one of the major drive that we do with our MSMEs is skill development, training, and entrepreneurship development. We do this, and some of the organizations that are linked with us are Khadi and Village Industries and also Koyer. And we have several training institutions like tool rooms and also technology centers where we cater to the needs of the MSMEs. Some of the major goals that we would like to achieve in the next 5 years, we would like to get MSMEs onboarded and give them formalization so that they can contribute the GDP and also into the global value chain. And we want to also increase the share in exports from MSME and promotion of the Atmanirbhar Bharat also. And I think this platform also plays a very important role towards that. We also want to create adequate and accessible, affordable credit and finance to MSMEs for their business growth and modernization. So many new schemes and initiatives we have introduced. And we also look into technology upgradation of the MSMEs, because standardization of products and services is also very important, for which technology plays a huge role. So we are also looking at technology infusion as one of our major activity here. We're also giving focus on innovation, efficiency, quality, and low carbon pathways. And we would like to reposition Khadi and Koyer and Village Industries at national and global level for conscious consumption and sustainable economy. And one of the major pillars is again empowering women, traditional artisans and craftspeople in enterprise development and ownership. One of our vision is to see gender parity by 2029. Right now, if you look at the 49 million registered entrepreneurs, then you will find that 39% are women. But if you look at the UAP, which is those micro, nano women entrepreneurs comprise 70% of that. So we are also drawing a roadmap and SOP, not only by the Ministry of MSME, but at least a few ministries which are related. We are coming together, and we are looking at the holistic approach of the government so that we can engage the women and help them so that by 2029 we can have a gender parity. Now, bridging the formalization gap, as of now, we have 63.4 million MSMEs, but the new registration drive that we are driving since 2020, we have around 49 million. And women-owned IMEs constitute about 70%. And formalization drive, we are already engaging with the state government, with the other ministries of the government of India, onboarding at least 6-7 ministries together, and we are looking at and working towards the holistic approach. If you look at the status of bilateral trade between India and Japan, some of the primary exports you are already aware. They are petroleum products, and then chemicals and crustaceans, and also the nuclear reactors, mechanical appliances, and so forth. India's primary imports from Japan are machinery, electrical machinery, iron and steel products. And the focus products identified for exports are marine products, auto components, pharmaceuticals, diamond jewelry, textiles, dairy product, Indian tea, leather products, plastic, etc. So this is where we're looking at. If you look at the status of the bilateral trade between India and Japan, and you will see that in the last 5 years, it's summarized here. So we stand at around 23 billion USD. So the India-Japan Cooperation, JETRO, facilitates investment. We are all aware of that. And there is a big opportunity, as already mentioned by His Excellency, the Ambassador of India to Japan, has already mentioned that we should have a quantum jump. And there is potential. There is a huge opportunity. We are already engaging, but we need to enlarge that and then grow more. So there is a big opportunity for growth and trade diversification for business, for Japanese businesses also, and partnership between Indian technology centers and Japanese counterparts to promote technology transfer and technology co-creation and adaptation tailored for localized MSME needs, facilitating visits of Japanese MSMEs to India and Indian MSMEs to Japan, and promoting mutual collaboration between India and Japan. I think we can look at this and see how best we can facilitate both the MSMEs to network, to partner, and to grow their business. This is one slide that I really want to share and highlight with to the esteemed members, participants today. We are already engaging with Japan, and the first phase of Kaizen training has been completed in 2 technology centers. We have 2 new technology centers which are at Biwari and Puducherry. So here the first training is over, and in the last meeting, SME Joint Working Group, we have also received the request from Japan side that it is not only in Biwari and Puducherry, but also in all the 18 technology centers that we have under our MSME ministry. Also, we have so many other organizations like National Institute of MSMEs. We have NSIC, which also looks after the training centers. So NTSC, we have 9 of them. So we would like to spread this Kaizen, S5, and all this kind of training, not only in these 2 identified technology centers, but also to around 30 odd centers that MSME has. So we are working towards that. Japan's Association for Overseas Technical Cooperation and Sustainable Partnership and India MSME Ministry are preparing to implement powerful Japanese workplace methodology by introducing 5S Kaizen curriculum and India's MSME sector. We are already incorporating their curriculum in all of our trainings. So we are grateful for to Japan for coming forward and then sharing their S5 and Kaizen curriculum with us. So now on our part, we are trying to incorporate that as part of the mandatory curriculum and also spread to all our training institutes which are under Ministry of MSMEs. Yeah. So if you look at the holistic 360-degree of MSME's intervention, you will find that finance, credit, and all are that makes one of the major part. And we have several schemes which helps them with credit. We also have credit guarantee schemes which covers 75% of all the loans that the MSME takes from the banks, and up to 85% coverage for women. And if you are from the scheduled caste or the scheduled tribes, then it is up to 85%. We also have equity called Self-Reliant India with about 50,000 crore corpus. This is a growth fund, not a seed funding. So we help the MSMEs to access this growth fund, SRI fund, so that they can get out of the MSME bracket and become a larger and bigger companies. We also have technology centers, as I said, already 18 in existence, 9 in NSIC, but there are many more coming up. So, we are going to have technology centers and mini technology centers. Our vision is to have in all the districts. We also help with the infrastructure development through our cluster development program. So this is a cluster approach where end-to-end hand-holding support is given to the MSMEs. And we also have a marketing component which helps the MSMEs link up with the market. And it is not only the e-market platform here, but we also facilitate our MSMEs to participate in major fairs and exhibitions, not only within the country, but also outside. And so if you look at the global, major exhibitions, then we have more than 1,000 already approved list, and many of these lists are already are provided by the Embassy of India. And so we have collated those, and then we facilitate our MSMEs to go and participate so that they get to understand what is the ecosystem and what are the market trends like, what are the latest technologies available for this sector. And they also do networkings, and in the B2B platforms, they get to know, they get to understand, and there the friendship network begins. And then, a lot of JVs also happen from this kind of exposure. So we do help our MSMEs through our marketing components here. And entrepreneurship development, skill development, training, capacity building. We also have several schemes which helps the MSMEs. So thousands and thousands of MSMEs are trained in a year. And one of our major focus is also to generate employment. And so we have a PMEGP scheme, for example, but even through our trainings and capacity building, we train them to become enterprise builders so that they can recruit people, employ people in their factories. So this is what we do. And Ministry of MSME, apart from these 6 verticals that we work, we also engage with the state government. And so it is a whole approach, government approach. And so we have a World Bank funded program called RAMP, Raising and Accelerating MSME Performance. And we also now reach out to the village level, not at the district, not at block, but to the village level through our PM Vishwakarmas. These 18 trades are considered to be the last bastion which needs to come under the formal umbrella. So we are implementing this PM Vishwakarma, and on the 17th of next month, we are going to celebrate the first anniversary. So we are working towards that, and hopefully by 2029, we will see that most of the MSMEs will be covered under the formal umbrella. Next. So how do we help our MSMEs? As I said, that there are several schemes, there are several initiatives that we have taken. So access to finance, for example, CGTMSE, I have already said, a loan up to 5 crore. 75% coverage is given by the government. And if you are a women MSME, and if you are SC/ST, then it is up to 85%. And we also have this Self-Reliant India scheme, which is an equity scheme, a growth funding to help the MSMEs get listed in the stocks and also get out of the MSME bracket, which is 250 crore turnover. And we also have a lot of capacity building and training programs. And we also have access to infrastructure. Several schemes we do that. And we also have cluster development programs. And so what are some of the things that we do under that? We have quite a lot of them, and majority, at least 30% of all these cluster developments are also for women. One of the things that we are doing is we are trying to bring gender parity. We are also trying to address the regional disparity. So looking at the Himalayan range, right from Leh Ladakh up to Arunachal, which are less developed, the footprint of industry and the parameters are still way below the national level. We also have a special scheme, a separate dedicated scheme for them. So we help the MSMEs with extra support so that they can also come up and reach the national level. And technology centers, I've already shared, we have 20 new technologies and 100 extension centers coming up. And this is also included in our vision. So all these will be added to the already existing 18 technology centers that are already functioning. And our technology centers are already, our technology centers are already into a lot of moldings and also into reverse engineering as well. We also look after the champion scheme, which is Z certification, zero effect, zero defect, keeping in mind the environment and the green thing. And so MSME Lean scheme and innovation, incubation, IPR design. These are some of the major new initiatives that we have taken to green the landscape of MSMEs, help them transit to clean energy. So these are the technology centers where already Bhiwadi and Puducherry are now partnering with Japan for S5 and Kaizen capacity building. And the ramp scheme, which again, is really helping the state government take ownership because industry is a state subject. So we are trying to handhold them and then build up the ecosystem. So these are some of the things that I would like to share with you. Thank you very much. And in the process, as we go along, whatever you want the MSME ministry to do, we'll be very happy to do it. And I thank the ambassador and his team for creating this SME desk in Tokyo, the first ever. We want to replicate this to other EOIs also. And so thank you very much. And looking forward to many more beautiful cooperation to help our MSMEs. Thank you and Jai Hind.
May we now invite Mr. Michio Hashimoto, University of Tokyo Advanced Science and Technology Research Center, Japan Energy International Security Organization to make the presentation. 次に、橋本道夫様、東京大学先端科学技術研究センター、日本エネルギー国際安全保障機構様よりプレゼンテーションをいただきます。
スライドって出るんですよ。Good afternoon, and ladies and gentlemen. And my name is Michio Hashimoto, and a professor at the University of Tokyo and the Research Center for Advanced Science and Technology. And I would like to first thanks and Ambassador and CB George and for and also his team and to invite me to this very wonderful event. Well, I have been working for the energy and industry area, both in the government and also university. So, please allow me to start and speaking about the energy. I mean the hydrogen, and that is the new and also the growing and the business area. And then I would like to speak about the business opportunities for the SMEs in the hydrogen business. So, please go to the next slide. So, I would like to start the reason why we push the hydrogen for the energy use. And well, as you know that the global warming is quite urgent matter. It is quite apparent if you see the last 40 days in Tokyo, and that's already ongoing and already exists there. So we have to accelerate and the decarbonization in energy system. Hydrogen is the very clean fuel and emits no CO2 in combustion. And the secondary, and the hydrogen is a quite flexible energy carrier, and which can give great flexibility to energy systems. I mean, that is very good for the energy security. The last one is this is the very the newest innovation in energy technologies. And so that might generate a lot of business opportunities for the companies and including SMEs, particularly with the high technology companies. Next, please, and skip this one. Next, skip this. Next. Yes, thank you. So let me speak a little bit about the current situation and in hydrogen. And well, hydrogen is very good energy, very clean fuel, but they are not used widely now. The reason is this is very expensive and very high. Cost is very high. Because of this, not so many people want to use this now. So I have to say the least demand for the hydrogen. Well, if without much demand for the hydrogen, supply infrastructure cannot be developed. So, well, that makes the cost of the hydrogen more higher. So, hydrogen is now struggling with this very, very bad cycle. So, we want to change this. So, how? The next slide, please. The first, and we're going to take the two actions, but the first one is the reducing the cost of the hydrogen. Government launched the research and development project to realize the more cheaper and hydrogen cost. And also contract for difference, that is the new arrangement to support the hydrogen supplier to improve their profitability. So perhaps these two actions will help the cost of the hydrogen down. And another one is the demonstration project that they are going on several regions in Japan that will help the development of the infrastructure. If the cost of the hydrogen go down, and that, okay, next slide, please. If the cost of the hydrogen go down, that will increase the user of hydrogen. I mean, the more bigger demand will be generated. And bigger demand will stimulate the investment for the hydrogen infrastructure in everywhere. And once an infrastructure developed and then interconnected, that will be the nationwide hydrogen network that will help the other cost of the hydrogen further down due to the scale merit. So this is something we want to achieve. And also, this is a very basic principle of Japanese hydrogen strategy, and also in the US and the EU as well. So next slide. Okay, no, go back, please. Yes. In this connection, I would like to highlight one very important thing, that is the development of the infrastructure. Well, in order to make the infrastructure and also the network of the infrastructure, the cooperation with a region is very essential. Particularly cooperation with the regional government, regional community, and also regional companies. And most of the regional companies are believed to be mostly an SMEs. So I see that this infrastructure development will be the very good opportunity for the SME companies and to be involved in the hydrogen business. Today, and Mr. Akira Yoshida, the Yamanashi Hydrogen Corporation, and is going to speak about very excellent activities in Yamanashi for the hydrogen development. And then you will find the how this kind of the regional development will help the SMEs to be involved in the hydrogen business. Okay, so next slide, please, and then skip this. Next. Yes, thank you. Well, then, and I would like to speak a little more about the international trade of hydrogen. And recently, in Japan, the demonstration project for the international trade of the hydrogen was completed. One of the example is this case. This is the shipping of the liquid hydrogen from Australia to Japan. That was quite successful, and also perhaps the world's first and a long distance transportation of a liquid hydrogen by ship. And I hope that this kind of international trading of the hydrogen will be achieved, realized with India, and someday. Well, and let me a little bit talk about the international trade of the hydrogen. The idea of the international trade of hydrogen is not very new. This was already presented more than 30 years ago. And in Japanese government, there was a national project was launched for the technology development of the international hydrogen trade. Next slide, please. That's what the project called the World Energy Network, WENET. And this was the 10 years and project and try to develop very basic technologies of the hydrogen usage. And actually, the outcome of this project was so diverse. And for example, in the NFRM, which is the fuel cell cogeneration systems, and Toyota Mirai and fuel cell vehicle, and also the 160 hydrogen refueling station, and all these and in current ongoing hydrogen technologies are developed through this and project and a long time ago. And then these NFRM Toyota Mirai refueling station, this latest technology cannot be developed without the support of the SMEs. So, and once we have the more bigger and size of the international trading of the hydrogen, and the opportunities of the SMEs will be expanded. So 30 years ago, and my predecessors and also the people at that time and dream of this one, and then they achieved. So we have to continue this practice throughout the next 30 years, and realizing the hydrogen societies, and also the more bigger and business opportunities for the SMEs and also the other industries. Thank you very much for your attention.
ありがとうございました。May I now invite Mr. Akira Yoshida, PhD Engineering, Social Implementation Division, Yamanashi Hydrogen Company to make the presentation. それでは、山梨水素カンパニー、社会実装課、工学博士吉田明様よりご講演いただきます。
Okay, thank you for introduction. So let's start it. I heard that unfortunately I have only 5 minutes to talk. Am I right? Okay, let's get started. I'm Akira Yoshida. I came from Yamanashi Prefecture actually, and you see, Yamanashi Hydrogen Company is a kind of tech venture, and this is a small enterprise. We established this small enterprise in 2022, and now we start to selling our green hydrogen. So I'm very happy to share our green hydrogen vision. So let's go to the next slide. Thank you. Actually, I am one of the, I am belonging to the Yamanashi Prefecture. So I'm kind of the public servant at the local. And as a local public servant, we make a green hydrogen supply chain around the Kofu, as you see. And you can see this is Mount Komekura. We call it Komekura Yama. And Komekura Yama is now stacking our research facility. And at the Komekura Yama, we make a green hydrogen. And at the Komekura Yama, we stack the other research facility related to the fuel cell. And that research station consumes much of the green hydrogen. And we also distribute our green hydrogen around the Kofu city up to the 40-kilometer away. Okay, let's go next slide. Okay, thank you. Okay, I want to only one point. We will push forward to the indirect electrification, which means that we make green hydrogen by using the renewable power. Okay, let's go next slide. Yes, and we now stacking a research facility into Komekura Yama, and we continuous operation for the 3 years of the PEM electrolyzer. Let's go next slide. Yes, actually I wanted to talk tons of matter for this slide, but long story short, as public servant, Yamanashi Prefecture has a long career to operate the hydropower station. And we now change our business model to make green hydrogen. And as you can see, Yamanashi Prefecture has a rich nature, water, and solar power. So our capacity, renewable energy capacity, is double of the total energy demand, peak demand. Okay, let's go next slide. Yes. So this is also has a long story, but the long story is short. Tore developed a cutting-edge polymer technology we called polymer electrolyte membrane PEM, and Tore provide this cutting-edge membrane to us, and we stacking the membrane, and we make a electrolyzer, and we decide to establish this YHC. And YHC's capital investment is 0.2 billion. So this is a very small enterprise, right? Let's go next. Yes, this is our business model. We make hydrogen by using unstable electricity, and we store the hydrogen somehow, MH tank, pressured hydrogen, whatever, and we transport and piping, pushing out to our hydrogen to demand side. And the customer consume our hydrogen by using the boiler, burner, fuel cell, something like that. And customer will be happy to achieve decarbonization of scope 1. Let's go next. Yes. If you come to Komekurayama, you can see this type of tent. This is our test field. And this test field, you can see everything from the transformer, rectifier, electrolyzer, and shipping yard. So let's go next slide. Yes. We have two type of product. One is up to megawatt scale, and the other one is a small scale. We call the packaging model, and the packaging model is now installed to location. And the 10 megawatt scale EPC model is now under constructing for the 2 site, and it's scheduled to complete to establishment until 2025. So let's go next slide. Yes. This is you can see a big EPC model at the Hakushu, Yamanashi Prefecture, and this is the owner is a Suntory Holdings, and the Suntory Holdings fully back up this project. And you can see we installed 2 type of electrolyzer from the Canadavia from Japan, Siemens Energy from Germany, and both type of electrolyzer is now under constructing, and until 2025 we start to operate to make a green hydrogen by using this facility. Oh, let's go next. Thank you. So let's talk about the small packaging model. We already installed the small packaging model to the Kawagoe factory, Taisei Yurek, and the Shirakawa factory, Sumitomo Rubber Industry. Both factory use for the hydrogen to heat curing. For the one is for the concrete panel, one is for the heating tire. So let's go next slide. Thank you. So let's talk about Indian situation. So Suzuki and YHC is a jointly offer to NEDO. We can do survey research, and Maruti Suzuki is fully backed up, fully supported to our project, and we are now seeking the best location to install our hydrogen-related technology in the state of Haryana, India. And we now find type of this plant is good for our plant because this automotive factory consume very large amount of the natural gas, and half of natural gas consumed to this paint line for the heating up. So we want to apply our technology to this. And NEDO is a funding agency. NEDO want to decide final investment decision up to next year. So it's now undergoing project, but we have some we face some barrier. For example, the relatively higher tariff, and there's no financial support for the operating price. So, for example, in Japan, this year or next year, Japanese government start the price gap support scheme. This scheme is a kind of a subsidy, and we have the CNG shift price, and we have also the unit price of the hydrogen. This difference, government can fulfill, subsidize. So this type of policy support is needed. So let's move slide. This is last slide, I think. Okay, to achieve carbon neutrality, we will keep pushing the boundary of using the green hydrogen. So thank you.
ありがとうございます。We would like to request speaker to make presentation within 5 minutes due to the next event is scheduled. 恐れ入りますが、次のイベントが控えております関係で、プレゼンテーションをやや短めにお願いいたします。May I now invite Mr. Hiroki Sato, Head of Sales, Suido Technical Service, to make the presentation. 水道テクニカルサービス営業部長佐藤弘樹様よりプレゼンテーションをいただきます。
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sato from Suido Technical Service STS. Now let me start my presentation. Next, please. So, Suido Technical Service STS in short is a unique company specialized in detecting invisible leakage, water leakage. Next, please. So, our core business is leakage detection service by skilled engineers and related service. Next, please. So now I'd like to introduce our activities in India. So at first, we joined a JICA project as a feasibility study of leak detection service in India. Our counterpart is Bangalore Water Supply and Sewerage Board, BWSSB in short. And then we found our technologies were required in India because there were a lot of leakage in Bangalore. Next, please. After that, we conducted verification survey in Bangalore. So, we supplied our leak detection monitoring equipment and we conducted leak detection survey in Bangalore. And we found a lot of leakage in Bangalore. Next, please. So, after that, BWSSB required us to conduct the human resource training for developing leak detection skills. And we contracted training project with BWSSB. Next, please. So this is a newspaper which introduced our training program. Next, please. So, sorry, today we don't have enough time, so please go to next slide. So, our strong point is skills to find leakage pinpoint. For example, we found a leakage in Bangalore, which were which was not detected by local staff over 1 year. But we found it just in 1 hour after we arrived at leakage point. Next, please. So, and finally, we would like to introduce our business activities, current business activities in India. So our business was interrupted due to COVID-19 and other issues. However, we have contracted MOU with a local agent, and we have restarted in business activities in India now. Next, please. Next, please. So we hope our solutions will be. So we hope we will contribute to Indian economic development again through our businesses. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker to make presentation. Presentation is made by Mr. H.R. Chariam, Chairperson of PCIC SME Expert Committee, and Mr. A.B. Srinivasan.
Yeah, I'm here, but the video is not there.
Can we have the video? We are online, so can we have the video, please? We are unable to do that.
We cannot open the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. Konnichiwa. All my friends in Japan. My name is Jairam. I'm the chair of the SME in BCIC. And we in BCIC, we take a lot of initiatives to solve the problems of the SMEs. One of the main problems which we found in growth of SMEs was the biggest bottleneck was the owner himself. And the owner was too busy in managing the routine affairs of the SMEs. So how do we ensure that we empower him, empower the unit from being small to medium and medium to large, as the Secretary Masi was talking about. So what we did was we studied a number of small-scale units, found out what exactly is the bottleneck and what should be done to remove the bottleneck for growth. And we found out the best thing is we need to strengthen the management at the SME unit. That is below the owner, we must create one more layer of a manager who should be able to take up the routine management of the SME unit. So what we tied up with a management school in Bangalore, and we also invited a number of SME major units who have membership of almost about 8 to 10,000 members of SME in Bangalore. And we together, we created a curriculum which was like an MBA program, but barefoot MBA program, as we call it. A MBA which basically relates to the small units, and the guy can understand what all is required to manage a SME units. It covered finance, it covered marketing, it covered purchase, it covered manufacture, production, and managing the overall perspective of the economy. And that program has just been inaugurated, and we are going to roll it out in the next 2 months. This is one of the first unique programs in the entire country. And so if it is successful, they are available for SMEs in Japan.
So can we have the next slide, please? Mr. Prashant Gokhale is joined online with us, who is the Senior Vice President. Mr. Gokhale. Yeah, you're on mute, Mr. Gokhale.
Okay, now is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. It just works. Sometimes it doesn't work. Good afternoon, and His Excellency Mr. Sibu George, Ambassador of India to Japan, and then Joint Secretary, MSME Government of India. And what a fantastic presentations we have seen on sustainability and the hydrogen, which is the future tomorrow. This is the Bangalore Chamber of Industry and Commerce, the office bearers. The mission is Gateway to Future India. Vision is Look Beyond. And if you go to the next slide, as Mr. Ambassador mentioned about the SME and the importance of the SME and its backbone into the industry and manufacturing sector, if you see that out of 900 industries and associations and the parts in the BCIC, we have close to 26% are contributing to the MSME sector. So it just becomes so important that 1/4 of the total group is from the MSME sector. And that is exactly the reason what Mr. Jairam has mentioned. There were a lot of initiatives are and were taken by BCIC in promoting this MSME, because as all of us know that this becomes the backbone of the industry and the manufacturing sector going forward. So over to you, Jairam. I'm sure that I cut you in between, but continue that lot of initiatives what you are doing under the leadership of MSME, chairing the committee under BCIC. May I request you to continue with that?
Yeah, thank you. Okay, we have touched upon this, wherein Mr. Jairam has already spoken. Can we have the next slide? Now over to you, Mr. Srinivasan San, who heads the BCIC Japan initiatives as the chairperson.
Good evening. Namaskar. Domo kumbawa. This is A.V. Srinivasan, BCIC Japan Initiative Committee Chairman. Very briefly, since we don't have time, BCIC is one of the premium chamber of commerce with more than 900 members, out of which 300 members are from MSME sector. And if you see, we represent more than 90% of Karnataka's investment and 95% of the labor force. The biggest important point, what we would like to tell everyone who is present today, is that we have got 25 industry or application-based expert committees. Expert committee. And we also work with a lot of other associations like Pinya Industrial Association, Karnataka SSIA, and Lagu Udyog Bharat. Can we go to the next slide, please? The most important point of BCIC is we are one of the first chamber of commerce to establish office in Japan, with our people being present over there. So we are in India, we supply certificate of origin, and also we support many of the MSME members for letters for getting visa to go abroad or participate in exhibitions and participate in delegations. And the government of Karnataka has got many schemes. Now, the point is many of the companies may not know what kind of schemes are available, how to go about it. So BCIC makes it easier for people to understand what kind of schemes are available. So we disseminate the policies. We also help them to understand how to go to the government and getting various policies and things like that. And also we have an advisory committee. And right now we have a Japanese SME agreement with SMRJ also. We are working with Japanese SMEs already. Can we go to the next one, please? Am I audible? Can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah. The India-Japan SEPA, the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, has really eased the trade barriers, making it very simple for Japanese companies to export to India and Japanese SMEs to enter Indian market. For example, many of the items which are manufactured in India, in Japan, they can enter India with zero duty. And also, Japan-India Investment Promotion Partnership also encourages investment. And many other places, we have Japan-centric industrial estates. Japan-centric activities are happening with the government-to-government basis. Can you go to the next one, please? Now, the point is, Bangalore Chamber of Industry and Commerce, we play a huge role. Number one, we have our office in Japan. We can work with Japanese SMEs to enter India. And also, we disseminate the Government of India policies also here, like the Micro Units Development Refinance Agency, Mudra Scheme, and the Make in India initiative. And our Madam Joint Secretary explained about credit guarantee schemes and things like that. Those schemes also, we can make it happen for the MSAs. And also e-Shram, this is something probably it's about labor and things like that. I mean, we don't have time to explain. So all these schemes, we can disseminate, we can work with the Japanese MSMEs to set their operations in India and help them go through all these things. Can we go to the next one, please? Bilateral trade relations. We have 2 more slides to go, but I will just shorten it with only one slide. We are able to enable joint ventures between Indian companies and Japanese SMEs. If they do come to us, we can promote them to our member companies, our member associations. We have a lot of agreements with many of the associations in Karnataka as well as in India. So we can promote those companies and they can find their partners. And once they decide that they want to come to India, we can assist the Japanese SMEs in the local cultural differences and things like that. And also we can help them with marketing of their products in Japan, in India. Now, BCAC does not do the marketing, but we can find you the right partner to get the right partner to work with them. We also help you expand your business in Karnataka and all over India. Many of the sector-specific opportunities also available right now in India, like automotive, electronics, now semiconductors, healthcare, infrastructures, all these sectors are growing. So we welcome all Japanese SMEs. You are more than welcome to contact us. We'll be able to facilitate how to set up your business or how to do market survey, etc., etc. Can we go to the next slide, please? So this is the last one. So we have started our operations in Japan. We have Japan chapter. We focus on SMEs. As we are talking this week, we have had our first event with Japan SMRJ to facilitate the B2B meeting between Japanese SMEs and Indian SMEs. We are focusing on certain sectors, and also we offer Japanese language support and also working with the Japanese consulate, JETRO, and other stakeholders. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and we look forward to any questions, whatever you may have, so that we can be of some assistance. Thank you very much.
With this, we would like to conclude today's seminar. I would also like to thank all our participants who joined us today. これをもちまして本日のセミナーを終了とさせていただきます。会場にお越しいただいた皆様、ご参加ありがとうございました。